Hey nerds, this is just out the seat.
For Civil War.
Captain America Civil War.
So, first off, if you read the comic book first, well, I mean, no, it's not the comic book. But
It's really not the comic book.
they don't have the rights to a lot of characters. So it was not going to be the comic book.
Yeah, so if you had that expectation, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna.
But it's more Civil War than Batman vs. Superman is Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns.
Or, Dawn of Justice. Or anything else. I mean,
Well, no, Batman
actually,
vs. Superman was original. They wrote it in a room together without any
I know,
comic
but
books.
it's a prequel for Justice. Anyway, wrong movie. We're here to talk about Civil War. Civil War is
And it kind of has to get these comparisons because it's heroes pitted against one another for reasons.
by far beats Deadpool. Just because Deadpool is still a comedy. Civil War
I laughed during Civil
has,
War.
I know, but it has comedy, it has drama, it has action, it has consequences.
Oh yeah, that
It's-
movie's all about consequences.
It will drag you through the dirt.
Actually, it should be called Captain America Consequences. I mean, because it's all it is. I mean, there's a lot of references to what people make references to like being like parents or overseers. There's a lot of we can't let people do this, or I know what's right or I know what's best for you. There's a lot of that in this
But
movie.
see, the problem is there's a lot of that in the comic book. Actually, in the movie, it's less about I know what's good for you and more of I know what's good for my conscience and for everyone else.
Yeah, it's basically a battle of ideologies.
Yeah.
And everyone kind of has a different perspective, even if they're on the same team. But let's just break it down to its essentials. First off, if you're seeing a Marvel movie, you probably care about fight scenes. Choreography here is no less spectacular than any other Marvel movie. Actually, I think it's some of its best cinematography
I
yet.
can't wait to get a compilation of just the fight scenes. It's gonna.
They're drool worthy.
Fuck.
You could take pretty much any fight scene in this movie and love it. Although I would.
And the director's suck. The fight scenes are obviously gonna be longer because when they're throwing the shit around on the trailer. I mean, is there?
Oh yeah, that was like 5 seconds of that
They're
fight.
like, oh wait, I'm gonna cut that. It's like, okay, how many times did they bounce it in the trailer? Like 4 or 5? How many times did they in the movie? No.
Once or twice, really. But I mean, the trailers are misleading. We all knew that already. That's not the thing. I want to say that as good as the special effects were, I actually enjoyed most of the practical effects and the practical fight choreography way more than digital lasers and such. However, it does blend together well, and it's in Civil War with the roster of characters they had to pick from. It's kind of hard because there's not that many super powered characters they can use, and they had to balance out the teams.
Well, and now, the other part that we all care about. How did they handle Peter Parker? Fuck that kid. If he had died, I would have been happy.
Really?
He's an extra at best.
Oh,
he
you're being a
does
little
not
extra.
deserve his own movie. He looks and sounds like he's gonna be the most obnoxious shit in the world. Was he a good fit? Yes, he totally balanced out Iron Man. You got an arrogant, jaded old bastard versus a whippy, annoying as fuck young fart who wants to impress the old bastard.
It is a little disappointing just after reading the comics, seeing the progression Spider-Man has, even as a character just in Civil War, and then to watch Civil War, you're like, well, they're getting Spider-Man off the ground here, so it doesn't work as well. Spider-Man is way more integral to the plot of the comic books than he ever would be to this movie, and we all knew that too.
But the proposition in the comic book is different than the one in the movie.
Oh yeah, I mean,
in the movie,
it's the opposite of the
it's
special.
it's sign this and work for us. In the comic book, it's sign this, take off the mask, give up your secret identities, and work for us.
And if anyone doesn't comply, be ready to hunt them down.
I mean, that's the same in both movies, though. Put the niggas in jail.
Well, yeah, but I felt like in the comic books they were a little more cutthroat. In the movie, a lot of people got way more chances.
No, I disagree. But
We'll save that
nonetheless,
for a video literally comparing the book to the movie. Writing, dialogue.
So the character development and progression, great. The way they're interacting with people, great. The story itself, amazing. I don't have anything overall really negative to say, except at certain points you're like, okay, so we can actually skip this dialogue because I've already said in my head everything they're about to say.
It is a little easy to expect what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Especially once all the characters are on the table, you kind of know where the film's going. There are a few surprises. I personally think they could have taken more chances with the decisions they made with the plot. Dialogue-wise, I was loving it, but
I think the plot should stay where it is. I don't think it should have. They should have taken those extra risks that you're thinking of for just one reason. They needed to make a good movie, and they already don't have a large enough cast. The risk he's thinking of would shrink the cast even more, and they can't afford that, especially with contracts coming up and things being what they may.
Fair enough. However, I just feel like the stakes in these movies don't feel as high to me, especially if we're thinking about Batman vs Superman and what happened there. It's just like, well, I mean, you can take a chance, can't you?
No, there was no stakes in Batman vs Superman. I don't know why you're pretending there is. Spoiler alert, he dies at the end. Spoiler alert, he's a chia fucking pet. Put some sunlight on him. Poof! I'm Superman. I'm back. That's not a chance.
Your boob bounced the camera, by the way.
Oh, sorry. Titty bounce. Bounce, 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 bounce.
Anyway, what else? After credit scene. Decent. Honestly.
The first one, totally worth saving for. Absolutely 100% necessary. The second one is the setup to the new Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, it's supposed to be called Spider-Man Homecoming.
If you miss it, meh.
You could probably watch them both online,
Meh.
but I feel like the first after credit scene is much more integral to the plot of the main Marvel franchise moving forward. All that being said,
also I ship Vision and Scarlet Witch. I ship them so hard, and I didn't want to do that because I like shipping him with only dudes. But I mean, no, like they're being shipped. They will have babies.
Well, there was no way that they were going to be anything else. Spoiler alert: in the comics, they get married. She shrank and disappeared into the ether, like Scarlet Witch.
Ant-Man is just like Spider-Man. So if you didn't like Ant-Man, you're not gonna like Spider-Man.
Yeah, I definitely think the Spider-Man is likable, but he definitely has to grow on you, especially after we had so many Spider-Men. I think this new one is, it's cool that we have a really young one. I just hope that we can keep him for more than 3 movies.
He only got 2 left, and this was only like a half his appearance. Oh my god.
Yeah, but I think everything comes together well, and a lot of superhero things that have been flowing around recently I've been kind of frustrated with because of what people decide is the best option in certain cases, and it's just kind of like, well, I mean, that's probably not what you should actually do. Like, people would get compromised because of emotions and stuff, but I feel like in this movie everyone was
compromised by emotions,
but in a realistic way. It didn't seem
exactly
cheap.
They were actually compromised by emotions. It was an actual thing that happened or would happen. I mean,
and it's not mashing together toys like so many other superhero crossover, why are good guys fighting good guys scenarios.
I mean, technically they're not good guys. But listen, long story short, see the movie. We're going to do a spoiler video because we have to, because we have a lot to rant about. However, before we do that, we're going to do the comic book one because we both just finished reading it.
Literally right before we walked in
to see the movie. And I'm glad we did because I would feel cheated if I saw the movie first.
Yeah, because then you're gonna see the movie and then you'll look at the comics like, damn it, there's like 20 million more characters.
They cut out so much. I mean, it's just even the same thing. I get it's source material, but
oh yeah, but I do think they did justice to the source material.
Oh, on that note, nerds, see it, love it, peace out.